And boom, just like that, it's another FishPod TV. What's up, everybody? Jay Smith here with Paul Fleming.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? We got Sheila Tramontana with us tonight. And we're going to talk about the Tighten the Drag Foundation and a few other things. But real quick, we're going to do our sponsors. FishPod TV is brought to you by Coastal Wealth. Go to mycoastalwealth.com and check out everything they have to offer. We're also brought to you by Danco Sports. Go to dancopliers.com. Get you some good gear. Also brought to you by Seamule. Go to seamule.com. Check out the wade carts and pier carts. And also, they got a bunch of other good gear there, too. Some coolers and all kinds of stuff. Also brought to you by Angler Armory. Go to anglerarmory.com. You can become a member for $65. Kids are free. You get all kinds of cool stuff, and they do giveaways all the time. We're also brought to you by Atlas Tracks. Go to atlastracksusa.net and keep track of your boat.
Yeah, also, they are launching a new website coming up in the next week, so be on the lookout for that.
Very cool. We are also brought to you by GoPuck. Go to gopuck.com for all your charging needs. I never leave home without mine. Have it all the time. We are also brought to you by Central Marine. Go to centralmarineservice.com or yamahaoutboards.com. Check out all their boats, Skeeters and WorldCat.
Parker. Cobia.
We are also brought to you by Gellux. Go to gellux.com and you can get your party on in your boat or dock, just like this boat right here.
I'm going to be installing our Gel Lux
I
underneath
keep hearing
the
you
trailer
say
this
that,
weekend.
but
This weekend.
If we get any of these, we can get through all this storm stuff.
I know.
All right. We are also brought to you by Gills. Go to gills-gear.com and get your Gills apparel. And last but not least, we are brought to you by GreenPro. Go to greenproflorida.com for all your residential and commercial landscaping needs. I almost couldn't get that word out right now. That was tough.
Words elude you.
All right. Well, real quick, I know everybody's kind of beat up with all the hurricane talk and everything, so we'll keep it short and sweet. You want to tell them about the new button we got there?
Yeah, we've got a new button. If you are watching from our website, when you logged in, there's right next to the Watch This, there was a little handout. You got that button there. Also, pinned to the top of our Facebook page is a hurricane relief icon there. From now, starting tonight through the end of tournament season, we will be taking donations, which we will distribute to the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico because they just got annihilated on this last one.
They did. So we're going to do everything we can to help.
So donate.
Donate. Thanks. All right. Well, that's enough for hurricane talk tonight. We're going to move on to tournament season. I'm really looking forward to everything coming up. And one of my favorite tournaments that I usually fish in, but this year we're going to just be there helping out and going live. Tighten the Drag. How you doing, Sheila?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good, good, good. It's good to have you in here. I really love the tournament, so it was we had to have you in here and talk about everything.
We're so thankful that you guys always kind of give us a little mention here and there and a little plug, and that really helps because we're just trying to raise awareness, and get as many people as we can to come out. We try to keep the fee low and just try to get as many anglers to fish it and show the support for the
the best guys show up for this.
It's a fun event.
It's so fun. It's like a big get together for everybody once everybody's back. It's always a good turnout. For people that don't know about this tournament and the history behind it and everything, can you tell us a little bit how it started, what it benefits, and all that?
Okay, I'll try and get through that.
Okay,
you got me right at the beginning.
I got you.
Well, my son, pretty much everybody knows, was a licensed guide and captain, Captain Robert, and he had pretty much been fishing since he was knee-high and started his career, and then just went with some friends one day and was on a boat. They were up in Crystal River and just jumped off the boat and hit something in the water, broke his neck. Not sure if it was a manatee in the warm water or what it was, but you snap your neck. It
doesn't matter what it was.
It doesn't matter. But so just being in the hospital and trying to figure out what are we going to do, and then all of the things that we learned, we had to figure out a way to start raising money not only for him but all the families we met while we were there and people who just came to us and were just as devastated as we were. Yeah. And Robert was like, if we're going to do this, we need to do it for everybody like me, because there was no place for rehabilitation. There was no money to cover it. Insurance doesn't pay for it. Yeah. And it's so critical to get into therapy as soon as possible.
Sure.
It really does help. And, after a certain period of time, there's never a time when it should there, he was just showing that Robert's still doing aqua therapy, and he's in the water, and he's learning, it helps him with his balance, and it helps him with his arms, and, just maintaining movement in whatever capacity that you can.
Right.
So, but that's like $120 an hour, and you start adding those figures up. I think I did it for somebody, and you're into the hundreds of thousands of dollars really quick. And so the tournament started that way because to us it was just like a no-brainer. Like the first fundraiser was gonna be fishing because that's what he did, and we had so many friends in the business. So it was easy for us to pull everybody together, and it just went from there. It just.
We talk about the fishing community here at nauseam all the time, and
crazy.
Just how everybody always steps up when something like this needs attention and needs help.
Yeah.
And everybody steps right up. So Tighten the Drag comes about, and you do a spring.
We do spring
and a fall tournament.
And a fall, so that no one can say, "Well, I had a wedding to go to and I didn't make it."
Yep.
We do a spring and a fall so that everybody kind of gets a chance. And we have a different fishing group sometimes that fish the different tournaments, and we have a different. Fishing is different during those seasons.
Yeah, definitely some different fishing in those times.
Yeah. So, and it gives everybody a chance to come out and, and enjoy it. And in the fall, it's National Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month in September, this month.
Gotcha.
So we always try to do it during that month because we're really trying to raise awareness about spinal cord injury. Most people have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so involved. I mean, it's not just a broken neck or back, because first thing when they told me he had a broken neck, I was like, well, it's like a broken arm, it'll get better. But it's a central nervous system problem. So you lose the capacity for a lot of things rather than, not just the broken bones. The broken bones were fixed overnight. He was fused from C5 through C7, so he has a cage in his neck. Can only turn his neck so far, And people who break their backs, they have the pins and the rods and the screws, and that's fixed. But the central nervous system that's affected by it controls a lot of other things, like his temperature. For example, he can't regulate his temperature. Some people can't sweat. So for Robert, he can get overheated really fast or get really cold really fast. Like, we went to an expo, we went to ICAST, and he was so cold in that huge building because they had to crank down so low. He and I ended up sitting outside the whole afternoon because he was just literally like shaking because he can't control it. He can't regulate it. Even if he wraps up, he doesn't get warm. And the opposite is true when he gets hot. If he gets past that point of being able to cool down, he can't cool down. Like I had to spray water hose and you guys got to get him cooled off.
Yeah.
But that's a central nervous system problem that's like a secondary thing from the injury. So
well, and I know with the spine and brain injuries, they're still trying to figure out all that stuff. There's still a lot of research that needs to be done, and it's kind of like a open field right now to try and figure out all that stuff. And then the constant care, I'm sure, is overwhelming.
And spinal cord injury is just like a fingerprint. There's no two that are the same. People don't realize that a spinal cord injury is a spinal cord injury, but no two are the same. If you and I and Paul had one, we would recover differently. We would have different things come back that you would and I wouldn't and whatever. So it's just like a thumbprint or fingerprint. Every part is different. So you can't compare them.
Sure.
This guy is going to do better than that guy. There's no explanation for why. And so that's what makes the research so hard, because they just can't figure out why that is.
It's definitely a very complicated field to get through.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's kind of cool that it works out that month is also the same month that the fishing really starts to fire off around here.
It does, yeah.
I mean, the fish, they're really starting to bite, and everything's going good. So I think this tournament's going to have a really good turnout, and I think you're going to see a lot of high scores on the board there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Didn't get to fish the spring one, but the year before, I fished with Brian and Jeff Allen. And we actually did pretty good. I think we had like a 4th place or 5th place snook in there or something. So it was fun. I'm looking forward to this a lot. Are there any changes this year? Is everything pretty much the same as last year? Or?
Well, we constantly try to improve every tournament. We're trying to make it better. We listen to the anglers, what they say. Of course, we're all anglers. We have angler family and friends. We listen to what everybody says that would make it a little bit better. But We've moved to the Magnuson, which we moved in the spring, so this will be our 2nd time there. That has opened up, everything. It makes it a lot nicer. We get through registration. Pre-registration is important to get through that line a little faster, because we've got everything filled out for them. Basically, all they have to do is sign the form and collect their, things that they need to go and to be in the tournament with. We up the prize money whenever we get sponsors, so we try to make that prize money a little bit better and encourage people to come. We haven't raised our fee since we started. Actually, we lowered it from the first year. So that it's $50 a person, $200 a team. You can individually fish, or you can fish, as a party of 4. We have guided boats. We have 4 of our injured who are actually fishing this year with guides out there during the tournament. So,
that's
there's
exciting.
one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It's really cool.
That's kind of what Robert's vision always was from the time he was in the hospital. Is he wanted his guide friends to be able to get involved in this and to actually take them out for a day of getting away from this injury. It doesn't make you forget about it, and you still have the issues that you have to deal with, but it gives you a little reprieve.
Yeah, gives you a little relief. Yeah.
A little sense of normalcy again.
A little sense of normalcy, a little bit of just getting away from it all for a little while.
Yeah.
And so that's what we had hoped would happen. It hasn't taken off that way as much, but we're really trying to get guides to, kind of get back involved in taking.
Sure.
I know everybody's afraid. This is what the problem is people. A spinal cord injury, they see them in a wheelchair like, they don't know if this is going to be, I don't know if I can do this or whatever. It's really not so scary. It's really not that scary. Yes, you need to have CPR training in case they get overheated. You just treat them like you would anybody else that gets overheated. But just the fact that they're in a wheelchair doesn't mean that you need to be afraid of it. And I think that a lot of guides or, just people kind of have that. And once they take somebody out, they realize it's fine. We have several guides now that are doing that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think the more that it gets talked about, and it seems like every year it gets a little bigger, like more and more people show up, especially when you're going to have great weather and everything. And I think the more people that come and see and just meet the guys and talk to them, I think it'd be a little less scary.
That's what makes a difference too. When you come out and you listen to like Caden's story, Caden was hit by a car when he was 2 years old. And when you see this guy, he's got a little smile on his face. He rolls around there like he owns the place, and he's got a lot of stuff that people don't know about. He's never been able to play baseball or do any of the things that normal kids do, but he's okay. He plays hockey. He plays the adaptive hockey.
Sure.
And he does he fishes. He's going out fishing this time. So when you go there and you see him, it kind of puts your things into perspective.
Sure it does.
And you never forget it once you've talked to him. Once you've met him and talked to him, then you're like, I want to fish that tournament because that little guy, he needs my support.
Right. Exactly.
And that's why we do it. And he'll be there again this time. And we've got a couple
That's one of the things I love about this tournament. A couple years ago, I helped out with the checking the weigh in and all that stuff. But having those individuals there, listening to their story. And seeing how they've overcome and how they've adapted their lives. I mean, you look at, they just have such a great outlook on life. I mean, we look at our daily lives and we go, man, and we've got all these issues, but
kind of take things for granted.
We really do. We really take things for granted. And you look at what they've overcome, and their stories are amazing. And that particular tournament that I was at, it was really great because I think we had 2 or 3 of the, because there's different categories and stuff, and I think we had 2 or 3 of the first place winners donate their entire check back to the foundation.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's really what the spirit I think of this is helping these individuals out, helping them recover. I mean, you talked earlier, the therapy is expensive, the wheelchairs are expensive. Robert's got a really really nice wheel.
I think I got
time
to get.
Yeah, here's a picture of him in here, and he's actually this thing stands him up, correct?
That's awesome.
And it's like a.
And it's really...
It's like a tank.
Yeah, it's like on a track, right?
It is like a tank. It's like a track. It's called a track chair, and it's really super expensive. We raised most of the money privately, personally, from our family, and it took us 5 years to get it. But the foundation did kick in a little bit. A lot of people don't realize, we're a totally transparent foundation. We're 100% volunteer, and we do it for everybody else more than we do it for him. And I know people are... I had a mom ask me one time, why don't you just take care of him? Why do you do it for everybody else? 'Cause it's so much work. And I'm like, well, that's just not how we roll. I mean, if we're going to do it, we want to help everybody else too. And that's more or less came from Robert, And but that actually standing him up actually helps increase his circulation. It helps with bone density because you don't use your legs. You lose the bone in them. So you'll get osteoporosis and all kind of other things. Those are secondary. Those are the things people don't realize. But that actually is medically helpful for him. And I mean, you know, anybody that follows us will see the things that he does in that thing.
I gotta tell you, that's for sure. I should have pulled some of those pictures. He's got like a bulldozer plow for the front of this thing, and he goes out and he works in a garden.
Storm cleanup. You should have seen him in storm cleanup.
But it's crazy. I mean,
awesome.
He's got this gigantic plow on the front of it, and he's out there tilling the ground and doing everything. It's cool to be able to see him have something like that to where he can again get that sense of normalcy and be able to do the things that he'd like to do. You know.
Yeah, because they're pretty much, they're pretty much stuck at home a lot of times. You know, we get in our car and run down here, do this, do that, and he's pretty much stuck.
Yeah.
So this gives him a chance to get out in the neighborhood and go do things. And we're hoping that maybe someday we'll be able to buy a couple of those a year and give them away.
That would be awesome.
They're like $15,000 for the
base model
without any extra things, but they have adaptive hunting
that's
gear
what I was
that
gonna
goes
say.
on
I've seen that
fishing
for
gear
guys.
but all that little stuff is extra. So you know, you might put 20 grand into one of those, but we're hoping that sponsors will get behind us so that we can do at least a couple a year. We won't be able to do them for everybody we support, but that's one of the things with our injured is once we take on an injured, because we know that this is pretty much a lifetime injury, we don't just say, well, we gave you that money one time and you're on your own. We support them from that point on. So they can always come back to us and say, hey, I want to go hunting and I need this thing that we have a guy that, you know, told us that I can't pull my bow back anymore. So there's an adaptive thing that makes it real easy to do. So we're like, all right, so we'll get one of those. And, you know, next year he might want something else. He's going fishing, you know, so we just do different things for him. Whatever they say kind of will help them out.
Sure.
And we're limited. Like Robert and I talked about on the way, I'm like, I just wish we could do so much more. You know, you want to do so much more for them.
Well, you're community building at the same time, though, and I think just seeing it grow, it's going to come. You're going to keep seeing more and more, I think, as this thing comes along.
Well, and you know, this tournament really, I mean, you look at every tournament from the start of it, has really, really, really started to progress. It's getting bigger. It's getting, you know.
How many
and there's
years
more
have you
people.
been doing this now?
This will be our 6th year in our fall tournament because
That's
we
awesome.
started with a fall and then we added the spring because, you know, of that situation where what if we get canceled or what if if this storm had happened to us or this tournament had been a couple weeks ago, we'd have been. So we just do 2 so that we make sure that we can always raise a little bit of money and make sure that we can, put it in scholarships. And everything goes into our scholarship fund. It all goes into the scholarship fund. And my goal is to get a sponsor to cover every single thing that we have to pay for. Because just because we're a nonprofit, we're a registered 501c3, doesn't mean that everybody just hands over things for free. We still have things to pay for. We tried our best. I try my best to get as much as I can. But, you know, there's printing and there's all kind of little things that you have to pay for. So my goal is to get a sponsor to cover all that. So every penny that we make actually gets dumped into that scholarship fund so we can hand it out. We've already paid out $15,000 this year to several different injured, mostly for therapy. But we also we're paying all these guides to take them out fishing this time. They're, the ones that wanted to go, they're all going fishing. We're paying for their room, their food, everything that we can to make things easier for them. Like, don't worry about a thing.
All right. That's awesome.
That's
really
I mean,
cool.
that's what they need. People don't realize how hard their struggles are every day. And I talk to those moms and those families and those brothers and sisters. And, for our family in particular, Robert, Matt, and Melissa, they fish competitively together for years. And then when he got hurt, like, neither one of them wanted to fish anymore without him. And he was like, go do it, go do it. And so they started back doing it. And Matt kind of does it more than Melissa does now.
Oh yeah, and Matt is a tremendous fisherman.
Yeah, he definitely gets after it.
He does. I mean, from king fishing to tarpon fishing to red fishing. I mean, he's pretty much in every aspect of it. So, and he's very talented.
And they used to do that all together, and it changed things for them. Matt still takes him, but it's different because Robert is. They used to have they both had a boat, and they used to go together, and they would network. And now Matt takes Robert like every couple weeks or so. He's got him out there on the boat.
There.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
he's like the best little brother. And Melissa, she's a registered nurse, so she spends a lot of time at the hospital and working. But she took him out a couple weeks ago, and so they still do things together. But I know personally for them, it was really kind of hard too, losing their big brother to to having this happen to him because they looked up to him, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but they still get to do it together, and he's still here, and that's
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
what's
that's
important.
important to
Yeah,
us.
for
so.
sure. Well, I'm glad you guys got the 2 tournaments. Because it's both times of the year they're the best time of fishing. So this is one of those tournaments that I can actually go out and do fairly.
And kayaks, we want the kayaks to
Yeah.
come. Where are they at? Like, we have a kayak division. We only have 4 people signed up right now for the
Yeah.
kayak division. It's usually like under 20 kayaks that come, and I know there's a lot of them. It's a $500 first place prize.
Yeah.
And we give second and third place. It's a pretty decent prize too, you know. So I don't know where they're at, but hopefully they'll come. And the kayak division doesn't have to be in a kayak. Like, you can go wading,
Right.
or you know, you can be on any, like a paddleboard or anything that's non-powered. But
Right.
that's a single entry division.
That's another good thing about not a lot of tournaments that have that all in one. And just for anybody that doesn't know, this is an inshore slam tournament.
Right.
And so it's all photo release.
All photo
correct?
release,
Yeah.
All photo
Everything's
release.
photo release. And so for me as a kayak guy, this is one of the tournaments I can get in there, do fairly well, not have to risk going out and maybe get myself ran over or something, but out there in the surf. But it works out good for me. Now this year, you said you only got 4. That's amazing to me. We're gonna have to put a call out to all the kayak guys.
we are for sure.
I know so many guys with kayaks. We got to get that
Yeah,
going on.
bring them.
So how many people are allowed on a team?
4 people per team.
Okay.
And then our guided division, which, pretty much that's a guide who takes out a group. And we're trying to get the guides to, like, when you got a good client out there who you could call up and say, hey, I want to enter this tournament, and you guys all guide, I'll take you out and guide you, then do that. Bring those people in too. They still get paid. It helps our foundation. Because we're trying to grow the guided division just as much as the kayak division. The overall division, I already got 20 teams signed up, and we haven't even got to the crunch time here, where next week I'm just going to get slammed with entries.
Yeah.
And there'll be people who will come out to Magnuson to sign up. But 4 people on a team, $50 a person, $200. If they want to do the TWT, which is the Calcutta, or the tournament within a tournament, that's completely all paid back to them, 50, 30, 20 for second and third. That's $50, and it's like, your little side bet. I've had people ask me, what the heck is that? So, it's just,
Paul will tell you all about.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
If
and
you're
then-
gonna get in,
if you're
go all
going to
the
get
way.
in it, go all the way.
That's
Get in the
right.
TWT, because there are so many times that we have taken more money home in
Out of
second
it.
and third place than the first place guys, because they did not get into the TWT.
Yeah.
Get into it.
And I can
Yeah.
tell
Sure.
you from experience, going out with a guide, I just happen to be lucky enough to be friends with
Yeah.
guys that are guides, and I'm a pretty good fisherman, but going out with somebody who's on the water all the time
Yeah.
will increase your chances
Absolutely, yeah.
And they have a-
exponentially.
They have a separate division, so I've had guides tell me, well, I don't think it's fair for me to fish against people who fish on the weekend, because I'm out all the time. That's why there's a separate division,
Right.
because those guides
Yeah.
fish against each other for who's the best guide out there and can find the
Nice.
A
fish.
lot of smack talking between
Oh,
those
yeah,
guys.
that's
too.
for sure.
And your
it's
overall,
a lot of fun.
Your
No.
overall weekend guys are in a separate division.
Yeah.
Separate.
That's
from
cool.
them.
Now, in the guided division, you've got some. We talked about you've got some of the injured people going out. Do
Yep.
you have any people that are maybe waiting to get on a boat that would like to get on a boat?
I pretty much placed everybody that I know of right now that wanted to go out. We can always find somebody that wants to go out if I have a guide that says, "Hey, I'm up for taking someone out." So, I've got guides listed on our website, which we try to help those guides. We try to help people that help us too. So we put their name on the website, their logo. I'm really happy this year that a lot of our teams are starting to get like their employers and other people to sponsor them. So now we put up a link on our website on the team page that if a certain team signs up and someone sponsored them, then we put a link to that sponsor's
Oh, that's
page.
awesome.
Nice, that's cool.
very
So,
Yeah.
so it encourages the sponsor to go ahead and pay the entry fee for that team, and
Yeah.
they get kind of the kudos for it, and the team gets to fish for free,
Yeah.
and it's a tax write-off for the found.
That and a lot of people see it. There's a lot of people that show up for this, and
Oh, there's just a ton of people. I mean, and it's another one of those just really high energy, real guy. James Malls from Angler Armory
he's
comes
the
out.
best.
He's the host. He hosts it. And if you've ever been to a Wild West or to one of these things and seen James out there,
entertaining for
it's
sure.
entertaining. I mean, you're not going to go there and not have a good time. That is
Exactly.
for sure.
Just without a tournament, he's a show in
That's for
itself,
sure. That's for sure.
So yeah, we grabbed him. Matt does his tournaments. You guys do the tournaments, and Matt was like, you need to get that guy. Like whatever he's charges, you need to get that guy. He came to our first tournament. He had given me a fee. He said, okay, this is my fee. I'm like, all right, we'll do it. This is kind of in the beginning, so we were really watching money. But Matt's like, he's worth it. Get him. So he came to the tournament. He met the guys that were there, the 5 injured. Tony was one of the very fortunate injured who went down he was at a birthday party, went down one of those inflatable slides. His buddy came down behind him, didn't wait for him to leave, and hit him in the back of the neck. So he broke his neck at the C4 level. That's a really high level. That's almost not breathing on your own level. And this guy walked across the sand at our tournament. Were you there?
I was.
You were
that
there.
That was the one
like,
that I
got
helped.
chills right now just thinking about it. He's coming this time too. He's coming all the way from Mississippi, and he's bringing Hayden with him, who's 8. He just turned 9 yesterday. It was his birthday. But anyway, James just looked at me and said, I'm not charging
I remember
this.
that. Yeah,
I'm not doing this. It's all on me. And he's done it that way ever since.
Yeah.
And hope that doesn't mess James up any, but, no,
you
with
know
him
what?
getting money for other people. But
I don't think it's a big secret that he's a good guy.
He is.
No, he is.
And
He's
you know,
the
I mean, he'll be the first person to say this is a great foundation. It's a great cause, and to come out and support it. For those of our viewers who are guides, if you'd like to donate your time this weekend, we can find some injured people to go out with you. So reach out to me, reach out to Sheila. We'll make sure that her contact information is available. But if you've got the weekend, next weekend, donate your time.
Or just come out and fish, or if they want to help out, donate even a half-off charter to our raffle helps us, because that puts more into our raffle. So we want to get those guides in to support not only Robert but the tournament and be a part of helping these little guys get therapy. And most of our injured, the most recent injured that I just met this past week, he's a surfer, young guy, avid surfer, and I thought when I saw he was surfing, this happens a lot because they get in the waves and get caught. He was actually in a hammock, and his buddies were messing around, and they flipped him over, and his feet got caught in the hammock, and he smacked his head on the ground. He's got a C5 injury. So he has no use of his hands and his legs. He's paralyzed now in a hammock. Yep. So a lot of times people have that conception, too, that spinal cord injury happened because you were doing something crazy, and that's what happens. But that's not always the case, and a lot of it, 47% of spinal cord injuries happen in car accidents. So we're all susceptible to that happen at any time. And when it happens, it's devastating. And so everybody knows about cancer. Not that many people know about spinal cord injury, and there's not to say that cancer is not as important, because it certainly is. We're just trying to raise the awareness about spinal cord injury, and if you break your neck or your back, this is what we do. We're here to help you get right from the get-go. I mean, I went to Tony in the hospital at Tampa General, and I just said, look, we're here to help you. We've been through this, and this is what we can do to help you get better. We sponsored some of his therapy. I talked with his mom, just for support, because I went through it when I was in the hospital with Robert. I was like, I didn't even know who to call. Like, I didn't know what to do, because I knew nothing about it. I thought, never did I have doubt that he wasn't ever going to get up, because Robert was like, I'm going to beat this. But like I said, every spinal cord injury is different. So whatever things are going on in his body, I mean, he may still get better, because sometimes I've seen 10 years down the road, all of a sudden they start walking. Right. Or something just kicks in. You never know. So you never can stop really working to get better. And that's why we're there for the long haul. We're not just here for the first few weeks or month or year or whatever. We're here for the long haul. So they can always call on us. Yeah,
Greg Leonard actually just said he said, great weekend, definitely looking forward to it. So
Greg, come out.
He is. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, they can just come out and have a
Hey, I would
time.
say this too, even if you're not going to fish,
come out.
This is a lot of fun, and there's a lot of cool stuff. Those raffles, there's always a lot of stuff out there to win. I had a friend of mine that came to one, and he walked out with his hands full of stuff. He had all kinds of stuff. I think he spent a little bit on some raffle tickets and then walked out.
Oh yeah, they've got a ton of sponsors. There's a ton of giveaways. There's a ton of raffle stuff. There's all kinds of stuff to do. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And we focus a little bit on the quality of life, things that we like to do for our injured, because it's about quality of life after the injury. We want families to do things that are fun and make quality of life, make memories, do things with your family. So there's a lot of things that we have on there, like zip lining and Grand Prix, kart racing, and different things like that they can win. And then we have the other good stuff. We got the cast net from Barracuda, and we got the
Mm-hmm.
marine beam bag from Easy Rider, and some of those big things that our fishing guys like to win. And we're doing a new raffle this year called Buy a Bobber. I do this at my golf tournaments. We do a golf ball drop raffle, which is pretty cool. You buy a golf ball, so we're doing Buy a Bobber, and it's a big board, and it has all these little bobbers on it with numbers, and so it's basically like there's a 1 in 4 chance of winning something. So you get a pretty nice little prizes in that too, and it's $5 for
That's
the
very cool.
bobbers.
Yeah, that's kinda cool.
So it's just something fun. We try to make it fun. Hayden's going to be there. He's selling his little bracelets to say Hayden Strong, to try and raise some money for his things that he needs.
Sure.
So there's a lot going on. It's fun, like you said. It's just there's a lot to do.
My wife always comes out, she waits for me to get done fishing, comes out and brings a few friends, and it's always a good time. Like I said, all the best guys come out there, and they're always a lot of fun. The stories going around about the day and everything that happened, and it's always a blast.
I'm bringing the whole family down. We got a room for the weekend, so we're just gonna hang down there, and have the whole weekend for the event. So
it's a really sweet spot. That
That Magnuson's got a great location, tiki bar, and they got a pavilion over there. We're gonna have the trailer with the stage out.
And we got that beach, so the boats can pull right up there and anchor right on the beach, which is what we want them to do, and not really use the marina, but pull right up there on the beach and just walk right up there and have a good time.
It's a great spot too. It's kind of centrally located right there,
right off the Skyway.
Yeah,
it's like beautiful
awesome.
in the morning when you wake up and you just see the Skyway out there. It's just like really cool, and everybody just takes off. Oh, you can fish anywhere because our boundaries are from like Cedar Key to Boca Grande, so you can go out anywhere. But if you want to leave from there or around there, and then you just have to be back by 3.
Okay.
There.
All right. So let's go everything. The captain's meeting is Friday at what time?
7 p.m.
Okay.
Yep.
So the captain's meeting 7 p.m. To sign up for a single is 50.
Right.
A team of 4 people. 200.
Right.
Okay. What time in the morning does everybody get to leave out to go fish?
Well, overall division, which is our teams, our overall teams can go out at midnight, 12:01 a.m., because that's where you're going to get your big snook, and they can take off and go out there. And they can, we have a lot of teams that go out, catch their snook, come back in for a little while, take a little rest, go back out, whatever. But, and our kayaks start at 6, safe light.
Safe light, yeah.
Yeah, and guided boats go out around 8 because they'll pick up their team at 8 o'clock.
Sure.
And then take them out. So.
Okay, and then everybody has to be back by
3 p.m. They have to check in. 3:01, you're disqualified, and don't push it because
I was this close. Last time we were literally, I had the hands out on the dock with the guy. They're like, they're right there. I'm holding up the number. Oh, it's us. Literally 60 seconds to spare. We
and we have to be pretty strict on it because
definitely.
Because people they try to push it like, oh man. We can't because
rules
then
are
someone
rules.
right.
Yeah, it's
you
part of
have
the
to go by
tournament.
rules.
That's part
Even
of the
though
deal.
it's charity and it's kind of for a cause and stuff. We still have to stick by it because
it's for charity, but a lot of guys take it serious.
They do.
I know.
Yeah,
I do. I mean, it's fun, but we're out there to win.
It's
Everybody
a
wants
tournament.
those bragging
That's
rights.
It's a tournament. So
and we're happy to have them. We've got Team Godzilla's been on the top now for a couple of years, so we need somebody to kind of go out there and give them a little competition.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a bunch of guys are out there just killing it lately. The fish bite has been hot lately after the storm, so hopefully that'll stay true.
It was happening during the storm. We had a couple of our friends out there just
Derek Engel and those guys were up north a little bit there fishing right before the storm, just killing it.
One of my buds from Intrepid was out there catching a big old snook ray. He was out there.
That's hilarious.
Derek's our reigning kayak winner
Is
for
he?
last year. Yeah, he actually fished 2 tournaments the same day. He fished one in the
He
morning.
is a savage, isn't
He is.
I said, as long as you can make weigh-in by 3 o'clock, whatever fish you caught, you got to have them, and that's how they did it. So
that's
he
awesome.
made it. He was there. So.
Very cool.
But like I said, we need to build that kayak division. So kayakers come
we'll
on
have
out.
We'll have to get the word out. I think we know enough kayakers to build that number up a little bit.
Hopefully we can get that up a bit. That's always the way I always fish it. Me and Hans went out with the kayaks or canoes or whatever.
Yeah, we need to get a hold of Liberty Kayaks and have them reach out to their clientele.
Yeah, maybe get that going a bit. Is there anything else that we got going this year? You want
to? We really just need to say a big, huge thank you to GTE Financial because they jumped on board with us this year, and so kind of odd is that their COO is spinal cord injured, and he just came out to one of our tournaments year or so ago and just kind of checked everything out and said, you know what, I want to get behind you guys. And he fell out of a tree while he was hunting and said he was paralyzed for like 2 weeks, completely paralyzed, and said, you know, just while I was laying there, I said, if I ever come out of this thing, I'm going to find something that I can do to pay it forward. So, and he's just been the difference, because we were at this level where we just couldn't quite get
to the next level.
level. Like, we couldn't give as much as we wanted to give, and our tournament was like, you know, just barely breaking even with some stuff. So he really came in there and they really helped. They raised money on their own in March and just, you know, gave us they did all kind of little things at GTE and really built that scholarship fund up. So really all the stuff that has happened this year for our injured has mainly come from that fund. So we're really thankful to them for that. And our other sponsors, we've got a couple other. Salt Strong jumped in, and these guys are actually sponsoring the disabled to go out with the captains.
Nice.
So Salt Strong, Danco Sports, I can't read my writing, CORE, which is the Center of Recovery and Exercise, where most of our injured go to train. It's like one of the best in Florida. So they're sponsoring these guys to go out and fish, which is awesome. Great for us, because that's what we want to do, is send them out. We want to get them sent out there so they can fish.
Very cool.
We pay big fish. We don't pay, I'm sorry, but we give a really nice price for big fish. So even if you're in a kayak and you catch the biggest redfish, you're going to win that division.
Nice.
That particular price. So we pay those. We have a junior angler division, 2 different categories. We don't make the little guys compete with the big guys. So we have a little reelers, which is 6 to 10, and then we have a tight liners, which is 11 to 16.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And a ladies division. You know, our lady anglers, we love our lady anglers, so we give a really nice, they get a custom rod that's awesome. It's a really nice rod this year, too. It always is, but Jimmy the Fox custom designs these rods for us, and it's a nice one to win. So
that's awesome.
Goes to our lady anglers. So, you know, and they're just part of a team. They can, if they fish or if they're on a kayak by themselves and they enter the ladies division, then they're single. But if they're as a part of a team, then it's the team fish that count for them, or the juniors.
Nice.
So
Okay.
they
Very
don't
cool.
actually have to catch it themselves.
And any of our fishing anglers out there, if you like golf, they have a golf tournament. That's coming up too, isn't it?
Yeah. Like
Back-to-back events. That's it. Back-to-back. When is the golf tournament?
November the 18th. It's coming up, so it's just right around the corner. And we mainly are doing that because I have a lot of people that say to me, well, I don't fish, but I want to support. So we do the golf tournament for those people who don't really have anything to do with fishing, because most of the guys like to fish. And I'm working on a walk, like a fun run, roll, stroll type of thing for my lady friends who tell me, I don't fish, I don't golf. I need you to do something. Yeah. So we're going to do something like that.
Mike and I were going to, fortunately, Irma pushed a bunch of stuff away, and the Suncoast Kingfish Classic got put onto that date. So
yeah, it's hard to compete with all these different things.
Well, I mean, it was fine because there was nothing there, and then all of a sudden, you know, due to Irma, you know, with all this stuff going on, they pushed it into November. So
yeah, you don't want me golfing.
I was a little disappointed because I was looking forward to golfing that.
Yeah, well, we'll do another one. See, you miss it this time, but we'll do it again.
If you do the walk-run thing, that's a little more my speed. Nobody wants a golf club in my hands, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a virtual
Oh yes, I
walk
do.
too.
Bring the cameras up, man. That'll be entertainment right there, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna swap the fishing rods for golf clubs in a couple of months, so I'll be like starting right into that as soon as this is over. But
you guys stay busy for sure, huh?
Yeah, well, it's, you know, you want to raise as much as you can for them, because I get calls from people all the time and they need help, and it's like, oh, can't do it this time, you know. It's so hard to say no to them because you know what they're going through.
Yeah, I understand.
I do it all the time.
Right.
But you know, you can wear people out, so you kind of gotta just, you know, do a few a year.
All right. Well then, so do we get everybody?
Do we have everything? We went over all that. We did guided. Do we talk about money, or does it even matter?
That's up to you. Whatever you want to get out there with, this is the time.
Yeah. I want to just thank my volunteers, too. And if anybody wants to volunteer, hey, like, bring it, because I have a great group of volunteers, and they're in it. Once they get in it, they stay in it. But sometimes something will happen where someone can't come. So we're always welcome to anybody that wants to come out and lend a hand, from anything to hanging up banners to handing out lunch tickets or whatever, you know. So anybody can get involved. We don't turn anybody away for that. And we have some great people that help. Angler Armory, they're going to do the $500.
Yes.
Almost forgot. James would be like, hey, but $500 are going to give away if they get 8 new members out of our entire tournament, so that's not a lot. And they're just going to hand somebody $500.
That's
Very
it. $65 membership.
That's right. And you get
Kids
a whole
free.
bunch of good stuff just by signing up and being a member. So it's not just like, what do I get?
Yeah, monthly giveaways. I mean, they've been giving away wasp cams and
Some good stuff. I wanted some of
Simrad
that
Go
stuff.
7s,
Yeah.
cooler full of Corona, and
That was my favorite.
I think that was your favorite. Yeah.
We
But,
did a cooler of cash last year, or in the spring. We did a cooler of cash for a
very cool.
50-50.
Nice.
An
Yeah.
big Engel cooler with cash.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we try to spring little new things on them, like they'll get a team prize for just bringing their boat card back. I'm trying to encourage them to come back. My kids tell me, hey, you have a bad day out there on the water.
Yep.
You're not going to go back to the weigh-in just because. But we're trying to encourage them too. They miss all the fun when they go back
exactly.
home.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say, you're missing the best part about
The best
all,
part.
Yeah,
I mean,
is
we do
getting
a lot
together
of
with
stuff.
everybody.
Yeah, and network and come out. And even though you're tired and you've been out there fishing since midnight or whatever,
Yeah.
but come back, meet the injured that you're fishing for.
Yeah, that's it. Sharing their stories and
I'll
and
tell
learn
you what,
more
I
about
got the last year. It was last fall's. Was the last one that I was in, and I got some really juicy tidbits from people. Bubba
Yeah.
being one of them, he was telling me all about the area and stuff. I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Yeah, it's fun to network with people that
Yeah.
you get, you have something in common with, and then you get to meet the injured who you won't get a chance to meet. They make an effort to come out there to talk to those who are giving and supporting to them. They're trying to say thank you.
Yeah.
So at least come back,
Yeah.
at least come back and give
And
them
you
the
never know.
opportunity.
You get into that raffle, you might pick up some stuff.
There's
some
a
good
lot
stuff,
of cool
yeah.
We got
stuff.
some
There's
good
always
stuff in
good
that
stuff
raffle.
I always have a great time whether I fish it or not. I always have a good time at that one. So definitely come out if
And
you
our
guys can.
Raffle's only $1. It's only $1. Like
Yeah.
we've hemmed and hawed about that. I mean, some raffles are more expensive. It's $1. So, you can get some great things for $1 in that raffle.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the little bobber raffle, and we usually do a 50-50 thing. And we've got stuff on Friday night. We do an angler raffle that's complimentary, just as a thank you for them. So all they have to do is just throw their little ticket in there. Anybody that's fishing with us, it's a free raffle for them, and we just keep calling numbers until we run out of teams, and everybody gets a little something.
Yeah.
So
always a
we
blast.
try to do what we can for them. So it's more than just your fishing tournament at the boat ramp.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So the captain meeting Friday
7.
starts at midnight for the
Fishing, yeah, for open division,
fishing,
yeah.
and then the guided's at 8. Safe flight for kayaks. I'm definitely looking forward to this. This is going to be a good time.
And you can pre-register online anytime up to Friday the 29th at 10 a.m. I'm
Where did
cutting
they
it
do
off.
that at? What's the best way to do that?
Online,
On what
Tighten
site?
the Drag,
There you go.
foundation.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's right on the-
.org, not .com.
Yep.
Yeah, .org for it's nonprofit. So they can go right there. It's so easy. You can do it on your phone in like 5 minutes, and you can just pre-register if you want to just pre-register, and then you can pay at the captain's meeting, but you're going to have to wait in that line.
Yeah,
That paid
right.
line is a little bit longer. The other one's like express. So, and it helps me to have the list of who's going to be there. So if they'll pre-register, that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, kind of know what to expect a little
Well,
bit there.
we can get them logged in, on all the lists that we keep for all the different teams, and I get them up on the website before the tournament
Right.
with their sponsors and stuff. So that's important for them
Yeah.
too. They can go on there and check their.
We're gonna
their
try.
logs out.
We're gonna try and get some interviews with those guys and the
Yeah.
anglers fishing and everything else. That way we can bring you some of that stuff during
Sure.
the show on Saturday.
Yeah, so definitely if you can't make it out, you can watch live on fishpodnetwork.com and keep track of. Oh, we're on Facebook. I'm sure we'll have that.
Yeah, we'll have that up going.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we'll have all that. All right. Well, looking forward to that this weekend. We also have, not this weekend, next weekend. We also have on Thursday night,
Yep,
right
our-
before Tighten the Drag, we're doing an event for Fish for Clayton.
Yep. So we're gonna take our Thursday show to Trinity. We're going all the way up there to Coastal Mattress, and I don't even have that. I had it written down, and I.
Yeah, everything's on the
Yeah.
Facebook page, and I'll make sure that's posted again over the days. It's in Trinity. It's going to be at the
Little Clayton.
Yeah, he's a cutie,
He's
isn't
so
he?
adorable.
He is.
17 months old,
Actually,
and
you
he's
know
got
what?
stage 3 cancer.
I've got it right there. Look at that.
There it is. Coastal Mattress in Trinity, Florida. So we're going to be live from there. And Bobby Carroll.
Bobby
right?
Carroll. He's
He
the
put
one
it
organizing it
together,
together. Yeah.
and they've got a lot of great stuff to raffle off. They've got Barracuda nets. I think
There you
they
go.
got a fishing trip from Armed Anglers. I mean, you got a lot of cool stuff on there, a lot of charters that are on there. And
Yozuri, I mean, Topwater Culture Apparel. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in there.
And again, if you can't get out to Trinity, you can watch this all live. You can participate in a lot of the things that are going on for this raffle. So make sure you check that out, even if you can't make it out. That's going to be next Thursday, September 28th. And we'll be doing it at our normal time, right?
We may end up starting. We'll make an announcement of what time we're going to do it. Depends on what time they kick everything off there. We'll probably end up going live a little earlier.
Sure.
From the event.
Okay. All right. So everybody, make sure you check that out. Fish for Clayton. That'll be next Thursday, and then Friday night it's the captain's meeting, and then Saturday we have a bunch of fun at the tournament. So once again, what was the site again? Your site.
Tighten the Drag
Foundation.org.
Yep. And we have a Facebook page too. And,
okay, so make sure you follow them on Facebook. Go to the site, pre-register, get everything all in motion so you don't have to wait in the line.
Yep, and you can come right to registration. If you don't get online and you just really last minute want to come, just come on out. Be there before about 9 o'clock. We'll be there from like 7 to 10-ish. Then they can register right up until the last minute, and you start fishing at midnight.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you guys for having us. We
this
so
is
appreciate
an awesome
what you
event.
give
We're
us.
glad to have you here. So, am I missing anything?
No, I think we're pretty much good there. We covered everything. Make sure you check out our page and everything. Click our donate button for the hurricane relief program for the islands.
And so that's all for this week. We will make sure all the information is posted up on our Facebook page and the website. You can find everything FishPod related on fishpodnetwork.com. And don't forget, you can get all of our regular podcasts and our FishPod TV audio version from Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes. Anywhere you can get a podcast, we're there. So make sure you check that out. Give us a like and subscribe, please. It helps us out a lot. And we'll see you all in the next one.
Peace.